Welcome back to the #1 podcast in the world. We are your hosts, Chase DeMoor.
And Gabrielle Moses.
And today we got a very special guest with us. This is my friend Minicon.
Mr. Minicon. I'm trying to, you know the vibes.
Recently, there's been a lot of controversy going around about Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue's pregnancy.
If you don't know who they are, they're the ones who try and sleep with as many men as possible, like 100 men in like 24 hours.
1,000 men.
100?
1,000.
100? They had a 24-hour period to break a record, and they were going back and forth between who could
They
sleep
hate
more.
each other because they're trying to compete as to who can be the bigger.
Yeah.
The porn stars are OnlyFans models.
Both.
Both?
Yeah. Well, one of them's more in the OnlyFans, and then I think Lily Phillips
no
is
matter
more
what,
a
it's-
porn star.
Well, like one of them, Minicon, she does like a certain thing where she only messes with kids or something.
Yeah, like fresh 18-year-olds, Bonnie Blue, and she only.
Wait, that's her
messes-
thing?
Yeah, she you have to be like a fresh 18 or a virgin, and she'll mess with you, which is weird and wild. And she's like what 27.
She belongs in jail.
What's jail? Hold on, everybody's like, dude, jail's crazy. What is the point of that?
She says that she's trying to do it for educational purposes. She's trying to get them, which is like I kind of understand it. She's trying to get them comfortable into like if they're like unfamiliar with messing with a girl and like teaching her how to do or teaching them how to do different things. If I was a kid, I'd be like, yeah, I'm getting with a
true
famous
humanitarian. They go from their math tests and their finals to smashing a girl that hooks up with 1,000 guys in 24 hours.
Yeah, it's a story for the wife one day.
So gross.
Have you met anybody that's hooked up with her before?
I'm pretty sure, not that I know. Oh, well,
You don't have to say names if you don't want to. You can.
I have.
But
I have met somebody on the Misfits roster.
as they give
That's on her roster too.
Oh
No,
my
like,
God.
I'm not saying this is
you can't say the name.
not at all.
Why? I
This
can
is
say the name.
Just say what it rhymes with.
Stead Peck. Change the S for an F though.
No.
But when they explained the situation about hooking up with this girl, like did they give like a positive review? Did they say it was weird? Did they feel
A positive review is crazy.
All he said is because he did it before the thousands of guys, and he said that he's not going back because he's just like they're all just getting his seconds, and he has to go up from there.
it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Literally.
Well, recently they've both come out that because they compete with each other, that they're both pregnant.
Oh, I saw that all over Twitter and stuff. We'll put the images on
I
screen,
don't
but
believe that because Bonnie Blue was just with Ryan Pownell in LA doing the interviews there, and nothing about her pregnancies came up on that. And then the next day, like she had like a baby bump, which is
okay,
wild.
so she bought one off of Amazon.
Yes, 100%.
What was it? Okay, so to answer the question, what was the rules on the sleeping with all these men? Like, did each one of them get like 30 seconds? Could they finish? Like, what was it?
I know that they got, or all of them had to be tested, and then
1,000 tests. They're making money.
yeah, some people, I forget, the 1,000 one was different. Like I know the 100 men, like they had, I think 2 minutes each or something like that. I forgot. I don't know. I didn't look like crazy into it, but
Gotta
I'm
give her-
sorry, but I think it's equally as disgusting for the men who like involve themselves in that.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say equally.
I would say
actually no, not equally, because it's just like, hey, like if you see a dirty hole and you stick your finger in it, yeah, like you're dirtying up that hole even more. But your finger, you can just wash it off, and then that hole is gonna be forever tainted.
I think it goes both ways. I've had this
No, it doesn't.
conversation before, and I think if a man sleeps with a girl or a girl sleeps with a man, that's equally like hoey.
What?
I don't
No,
think so.
no, because it's like you wouldn't be able to tell.
That's how guys think. You
No,
wouldn't be able to tell with a girl either.
Yes, you would. You can.
You're
It feels good.
comparing 2 minutes, because he said 2 minutes. This one person has 2 minutes versus a girl who's taking 2 minutes from 100 people. It's not.
I'm saying it's equally as gross because you're involving yourself with that person.
You're talking 2 minutes versus
Yeah.
200 minutes.
bodies, and she has to.
Yes,
live-
I'm saying if a guy did that, it would be equally as gross.
No.
If a guy was with 200 girls,
He'd be
it'd
a
be
champ.
equally as.
He'd be a G.
Okay, so why? That's so gross to have that thought. Like,
Well, think about if you have a cup of water, right? And you hold this cup of water, and like I could.
so you're
pass-
saying it's okay with a guy to be with
You
two
didn't even let me finish my
girls.
metaphor.
Okay, sorry. No, that's my bad.
You're looking to argue. You're not even gonna listen. What's the point of me even explaining this to you?
No, I'm listening.
But Gab, if I have a key and the key opens up every fucking door in the world, then it's a pretty damn good key. But if I have a lock that gets opened by every key, it's not a very good lock, is it?
I think that's a really bad.
Say the water thing. The water thing is a really good metaphor.
I mean, the key thing works just as good,
Yeah.
but the water metaphor is if I have a cup of water and I pass it around and all my friends are touching the cup of water on the outside.
Are you still gonna drink it?
Yeah, you probably would because nobody's touching the water. Now, if I had that same cup of water and everybody stuck their finger inside of the water and passed it around, would you drink it?
I feel like that's not even comparable. You're
So
saying
you're
that a
just
man
looking
can
to argue,
be a
that's
whore.
why.
You think a man could be a whore and that's okay, but if a girl sleeps around, it's not.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. 100%.
Ew. I don't like that thought process.
Well, I'm glad you do. So if you want to go try it, you let me know how it works out for you because people could hate. You guys could say it's wrong, whatever, your own opinions. But I'm going to tell you 99.9% of guys, and unless you're like one of
So
them
you're saying
girls
that-
guys, you're going to agree with the same
Yeah,
foot
and
philosophy.
girls literally still go after guys that are quote
I
unquote
wouldn't.
whores. Okay, but I'm just saying, like they do, and like they like look at other qualities. They're like, oh, but he's like. Nice,
I
he
would
takes
judge
care
a
of
guy
this.
equally as I would judge a girl for
You don't
sleeping with
ask
the
the
same
guy
amount of
for his
people.
body count, and you
I
don't
would.
talk to it about your
I
girls.
would.
So you ask the guy like it matters, and just like, oh hey.
Yeah. If a guy has certain standards for a girl, why can't a girl have those standards for them?
Because I don't believe that
You
do
could.
that.
Yeah. I think you're trying to speak for the majority here, but the majority of guys will tell you they're not going to hook up with a girl that has a
I
body
don't want to
count.
be with a guy who could be with every girl.
Well, there's a difference between attractiveness and accessness.
Well, yeah, that's true. You can be with someone who's easy. What's the point of being with someone that's in?
Well,
With every
in
other
terms
girl.
of like how like men base their attractiveness and success is like having ability to obtain a majority of girls, whereas if you look at a girl that has a lot of bodies, it's more so do they have a lot of bodies because they're attractive, or do they have a lot of bodies because it's easy?
Because girls can sleep with whoever they want, for real. Like, they can go down their phone, they can close their eyes, scroll on their phone, pick a random guy, and say, come over right now, and that guy's gonna come over. Guys can't do the same thing.
Now, is the argument what is morally right or wrong? No, that's not the argument. The argument is in terms of how things operate, it seems like that is how it operates. And if you disagree with how that operates, then you're living under a rock because that's like saying you don't need water because it's a fact. You know what I mean? And going back to the Lily Phillips and the Bonnie Blue situation, imagine you're 1,000 dudes, right? And one of you guys happen to finish in her in 2 minutes, and like that just happens to be the baby she's pregnant with. Now here's the question: do you go forth and have that child, and now that child before he's even birthed, before he's even breathing oxygen, is labeled with the stipulation that he's the 1,000 dudes baby, and they don't know which dude it is? Can you imagine that kid going to public school? They're gonna have a field day with him.
That is
Agree or
crazy.
disagree?
Agreed.
Like your mom is a literal.
Well, here's the other thing too. Did you know like 1/8 of all Chinese people are related to Genghis Khan because he raped so many women? I mean, that's the same.
Well, this just took a dark turn.
That's crazy.
Well, that's like the same like thought.
No, it's not even remotely the
But
same.
I mean, I guess
You're talking about raping and pillaging.
Okay, no. I'm just saying.
Would be different than she's willingly.
Well, yes, but I'm just saying like. Okay, never mind, because you guys are going to judge whatever I said.
Wait, listen, we're talking about Genghis Khan.
No. Okay, so I'm saying, but if a guy does it the other way around and gets like so many women pregnant, there wouldn't be the same stipulation around it as if one girl gets pregnant and they don't know who the dad is.
Okay, well, using that same example, you're talking about Genghis Khan, one of the most
Okay, yeah, I
feared
don't know why I brought that
warlords.
one out, but it was just the first thing that came to my head.
I'm not disagreeing. What I'm saying is you're talking about, I'm going to use your example. You're talking about Genghis Khan,
Yeah.
one of the most feared warlords that people don't even know where his body's
Yeah, that
buried.
situation's a little bit different.
You know what I mean? Yes, he might have done the same thing, Gabrielle, but in terms of how the world looks at it, one's looking at Genghis Khan like, you were a very scary motherfucker, and one's looking at the other girl like,
You're a very scary whore.
but
I don't know why that was the first thing that came to my head.
That's
look
dark.
At Nick Cannon.
Yes,
He has 12
yes, okay,
baby
that's a
mamas.
Nick
much
Cannon,
better.
better.
That is a much.
We're gonna go Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
We're gonna forget about.
Yeah, forget about Genghis Khan.
And girls are still trying to get with Nick Cannon. Girls would still try to marry or get Nick Cannon to propose to them and stuff
Which
like
I don't
that.
understand how he has money for all his kids. He has, what, 11 kids now?
But he has a lot
12?
of
Do you
money.
know what? There's a law about how much.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, there's a law about how much child support you can pay. I think
Not in California.
per kid. No, I think it caps. It's like 30,000.
No, in Texas, yes.
Yep.
In Texas it does, but in California, no. He lives in California.
I'm not sure about the rules.
So I think it probably,
I think there's a federal cap on it though, because surely they can't take all of his money.
No. He has a lot of money. Like, Nick Cannon has a lot of money. A lot of money.
he has how many different baby mamas? 8?
12.
Oh, so none of the same ones had 2 kids? They're all a different
Oh,
mom?
I don't know. But
Well,
I thought
doesn't
he had
Neo
12.
do the same thing? Neo just came out with another girlfriend.
Yeah, he's
He's got like
polygamous.
6 girlfriends now. They all live together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I've met, yeah, I remember.
we've met.
Yeah, I've met
I like
some
Neo,
of them.
and I've met 5 out of 6 of his girlfriends. I haven't met the new one yet. But it kind of goes back to my original question for you two. Is like with the Bonnie Blue and the Lily Phillips situation. It's like, do you go for it and like have that kid? Like, is that under stipulation of maybe we should not have this baby because it's gonna be.
I feel like if you put yourself in the situation where a child can be formed because of your actions, you have to be ready to handle the consequences no matter
But the
what
consequences aren't on you. The consequences are gonna fall purely on
on the kid, yes.
We went to public school. You went to
Yeah.
private school. We went to public school. We understand what
That
the
kid
heck
is
is
going to get destroyed.
Yeah, yes, the kid will be
worse than his
but I
mother
feel
got
like-
destroyed.
Okay, now, okay. I don't know. I feel like if you put yourself in those situations, you have to be prepared to deal with the consequences, even if that consequence might impact the kid's life.
Well, let me explain to you. Let me ask you something.
My answer, by the way, is it's the mom's choice. So it's like if
You're right.
yeah.
You're right, Minikon. It is the mom's choice. But let me just remind you guys of some of the consequences. When you talk about consequences of actions, it is the mom's choice. You're 100% right. But that kid going to public school, fully aware that that kid is going to hear, I don't know how many of your mom jokes. People are going to pull up videos of
Yes.
your mom. That kid is going to go through such a mental battle. Now, with that mental battle, you have the possibility of suicide. Depression, a lot of these school shootings happen because kids are getting bullied.
Yeah,
These
it's
are
a
things that
possibility.
could affect not just one person, but you're talking the nation, majority of people. Is that something that you would be willing to do, Minikon? Yes or no?
No.
See, I'm sure that they had to sign some sort of paperwork being like, so if you end up having a child because of these actions, are you giving away your rights? I'm sure they had to sign some sort of
Rights
paperwork
as to what, though, Gab?
to have a say.
In
Like,
what?
if you want the mom to keep the kid, like,
Don't they have like?
I think there's some sort of say that yes, the mom could do, at the end of the day, she can go and do whatever without telling the other half.
Yeah.
But I feel like morally,
Don't they have don't serial killers have kids and like they're super like separated from, like they can't correlate. Only the government knows like who's related to like
yes,
Ted Bundy
certain
and
ones that are
stuff.
still alive. Yes, Ted Bundy's daughter is like protected. There's like other kids of serial killers that no one knows their real names.
Well,
Yeah,
do you think that this would fall under a situation like that where?
No.
where they could get their name changed.
horror.
I mean, if you, I mean, yeah, I guess that's different. I mean, technically, the kid could end up having a grandparent's last name or like a maiden name. So then maybe they wouldn't know
Phillips
unless
is a
they
pretty
met.
common last name.
Yeah. Like at the end of the day, they're just regular girls that are going viral.
For being a whore.
Yeah. Whores. Yeah. Not like if they were guys, they would be top G's.
Do you think that both
Which
of
is
them,
disgusting way to think about it.
are
but
both of them lying or?
Yeah, both of them got pregnant at the same time. Yeah, they have to be coercing it like
Yeah,
together.
they got to be friends on the end.
Yeah, they are. They're
They're just running this up. Is this one from England and one's from here?
no, both from England.
They're both from England.
Like they're friends. Like they did a thing together.
so they shook hands and they're like, let's run up.
Only in England.
Yeah, and they're running up a check. I think Bonnie Blue said she made
So much more money. Yes, I know. I saw that.
1.2 million last month.
Oh. Well, in that case, like, hey, if I'm the son, hey, birth me because I'm rich as hell. Sweet 16, hey, you say what you want about my mom, I got bread.
Bruh,
I'll cry at my helicopter.
I still kill me. I'm sorry.
He said, kill me. I'm sorry. He said, kill me.
No, I did not. Like that, it's traumatic to think like of your, because when I think about my mom, I think of the holiest woman in the world, and I'm like, she's a saint. She's never even had sex. I don't even know how I was created. And then to think about that many guys running through her. And look, the little fact that they are pregnant, right? They're not gonna stop doing this content. So while they're pregnant, they're gonna be like, "Oh, pregnancy content. We're gonna try 2,000 guys while a baby's inside of me."
Okay, no, but that's wrong at that point.
Yeah,
like,
gotta be,
if
like, some
CPS
child.
was a thing,
Yes.
like,
No,
I
it's
mean,
a
they
thing.
can't really take that baby away from mom because it's inside of her, but
There's got to be
that's
some
not
sort
okay.
of CPS that they have going on for that. Surely not. You can't just be like.
Well, no one's done that before.
Yeah. They're gonna be looking.
There should be some sort of law to protect.
Well, regardless of the fact, however they decide to go about having their kids and raising it and doing like their own content with it, that kid's gonna deal with a whole separate slew of issues, and I think that that's something that should definitely get weighed into determining whether or not they're gonna have that baby or not. I don't know the rules in England on abortion, but I know that Donald Trump just recently did something that is trying to ban abortion here. Or
Let's not get super political.
We're not getting
with it.
political.
Let's not.
We're not getting political. I'm just saying, like, in terms of like how countries operate, there are reasons that things are in place and the reasons people do certain things. And I think that this is one of those situations where people should really look at this and consider how the quality of that kid's life is going to be because of the decisions that her mom made.
This is also like a 0.00001 out of like how many?
It's nasty, to be honest. Imagine dating that girl.
Yeah.
Ew.
And like, if you guys want to for the podcast, like, I'll try one of them out and come back and talk about it on the podcast. Just for you guys.
We will let them.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
just for you guys, to do your research.
But since we're on the topic of dating, recently on the Netflix series,
Love is-
Love is Blind.
Oh.
Hang on, we'll go to Love is Blind. Let me finish.
Okay.
Gabby Petito. Gabby Petito. This documentary, if you guys have not watched this, follows a girl who basically buys this van with her boyfriend, and they go off on tour, and he ends up unaliving her, essentially. And it's just like a whole documentary about domestic violence and this and that. If you watch the documentary, guys, if you guys are not familiar with it, basically this girl, she decided that she was going to date this guy who was a little bit older than her, and their dream, quote unquote dream, was to get this van and travel around the United States together. But throughout the process, the guy didn't really have like a stable job at the time, and she was working really hard to pay for this van, and this van was underneath her name, and they got stopped by like multiple police officers, and she was crying in one of the police
The
cam
whole
footage.
situation could have been avoided.
Really, it could have been avoided. And then all of a sudden, this girl goes missing, and then the van's back at his house, and he goes, "I flew home, but somehow the van is there, and he's hiding in the house." And then he goes missing, and then FBI and
They think he's dead.
they think he's dead, and all of a sudden, what is it? The parents that found his body or something
After
like
like 2 minutes or something crazy.
that. Yeah, after and he like unalived himself via bullet to the head.
Oh, I didn't even know he unalived himself.
But he was so decomposed that they can.
They couldn't ID him.
Yeah, there's like a lot going on with that. More of the story, guys. Like, listen, if you guys haven't watched it, go watch it. Domestic violence is a big thing, especially in the dating scene. You guys, it is a choice. It is a choice. Talking about the Lily Phillips and the Bonnie situation, like, however you're dating and however you see dating fit is a choice, guys. So make sure you guys.
But you can also, let me say that you can ask for help if you are in a bad situation. There are hotlines you can call, and don't be scared to reach out for help because it's okay to speak up.
Or you just be like me and Minicon, just pick up a pair of boxing gloves and duke it out.
Yeah. Mhm.
Just punch him in the mouth.
Oh my gosh.
Then out you can go.
Okay, but also talking about Love is Blind, again, Netflix does not do background checks sometimes.
Well,
And
before
I'm
you talk about the
concerned.
background check of this guy, this is the worst season of Love is Blind I've ever seen it, and you guys should be
I've heard it's
goddamn
so
ashamed.
boring.
You guys should be
Yeah.
ashamed of this season because this season was just
For this
not-
being your like #1 show overall, like
gotta
in the
get
years
together.
running, get your stuff, make it interesting. Like, come on. Like,
I
I
was falling
understand. Like, there's like an idea. You can't really change that much of Love is Blind, but like, it's getting boring. It's getting repetitive.
No, this season was boring and repetitive. This one in particular was like watching paint dry.
I mean, I guess it's not as boring now that we're hearing about all this stuff that's coming out about Alex.
Yeah, let's talk about Alex.
So Alex has been known, if you don't know, if you're not one of the girlies and you don't know, are we dating the same guy? Or like the Facebook groups where girls literally say, hey, warning, don't talk to this guy for this reason. Well, Alex has been put in these group chats so many different times that years ago. So this is even before the show was even out. Let me read to you actually what was said directly about him, because he's known to have parties and only invite high school girls that are literally underage. So this one says, this guy was ripped to shreds on a local dating Facebook group in Minnesota because he would sell alcohol to minors, then ask for sexual pleasures from them. Apparently he's dated many and was a narcissist as well. Sweet personality was his first step. The post occurred even before he was announced on the show, and a lot was taken down because he was announced getting a lot of heat at the reunion. But then on TikTok, girls who went to his parties were even like, nope, I've met him. When I was 16 years old, he invited me to one of his parties and bought me alcohol and then would try and do stuff with me. Quote unquote, this is what it said. He would throw parties while he was in his mid-20s and only invite high schoolers. It was 16 and 17-year-olds. He was even actively hooking up with my friend who was 17. And there's like other people underneath the comments saying, I can verify this story.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is wild.
Like, okay, I understand, like, they might not be able to find criminal charges on him, but if there's enough hearsay about him,
Yeah.
look up his name in, like, a Facebook, like, anything. Like, I feel like there has to be a
somebody
data.
there should be somebody that's their job. Like, it's like, that's your
'Cause
only
it's
job.
not
is
a
to
good
figure out.
look for
Yeah.
Netflix to have people who literally are, you know, going after underage girlies.
That's crazy.
Yikes. Chase, what do you think about that?
So I guess I just saw a very, very discerning email. Yeah, you know, I didn't like any of the cast this season, to be honest. The only girl I really liked on there was the girl that was a doctor. She was the only one that was, like, remotely in it.
Oh, yeah, she was a badass. Go her. I don't even know her name.
Why
But
she was on Love is Blind is insane to me, because she was a very attractive girl. She was very successful in her career, and the guys she picked were actually pretty lame. So,
well, they don't see him.
yeah, but even talking to them, it's just like, but
Yeah.
you mean to tell me that you have a doctor and you went to school for 12 years and you can't generate an interesting conversation with these
Well,
guys?
she's honestly probably so busy working all the time that when does she have time to like go out and date? She's a doctor.
I mean, I'm sure, because there's a lot of attractive people that work in hospitals now. Come on, guys. It's like one of the most attractive job descriptions out there. And it's not even that. It's like, you got to think of your university time. You mean to tell me that, you know, the time that she worked at university, or time that she was in university, to the time, you know, she, you know, was doing her, what's that thing you have to do when you're...
Residency.
Your residency.
And fellowships.
You know, you mean all that time you never met anybody to go on a reasonable date with, to the point where somehow you don't have time to go on a normal date, but you have time to apply for a television show and close your life off for 2-3 months.
That's true. How is she a doctor and she's not practicing for 6 months? Or
Buddy, like, how do you just take a vacation and go on Love is Blind?
Crazy.
maybe she's unemployed?
Buddy, I ain't going to see her anytime soon for no appointment. Are you mad?
Well, putting in like you're somebody's doctor and like putting in like, oh, hey, I have to do this TV show real quick. This dating show real quick. Gotta go.
Let me just pause on your
Yeah.
treatment. Gotta go. Become
I'm trying to go find a husband. Like,
That's crazy.
Maybe she was still able to take like telehealth patients or something.
do you know what the worst part about all that cast was? Is like, you know, people are going on these TV shows, and I've said this before, and I'm actually tired of having to come on here and say this. It's like, guys, at a certain point, you guys got to stop pretending that you're going on these shows to find love, because we all know that you're going on these shows in hopes of claiming some sort of fame and some sort of dollar amount that you can claim from this, because you think if you go on a TV show that you're automatically going to be the next big reality TV star. I will tell you guys firsthand, I come from the #1 dating show that has ever been announced ever, and the biggest season of it, and I can probably name on one hand how many people are popular across all 8 seasons of my show. So if you're going on these shows looking for fame, and then you say you're not, but then it comes out later that you already established a management, a PR person, you're already moving to LA, you're setting up all these collabs. I get it. You're trying to do what's best for you in the moment and capitalize on the moment, but stop pretending that you're going on these shows to find love and then pretend to be upset when it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
That's a
Simple as
good
that.
point. Yeah, that's
Simple as
true.
that.
Do you want to know another really bad dating story? Not even dating story. Rumors that spread about a college girl, Mary Kate Cornett. Her boyfriend, she was dating this guy, and someone took a picture of a Snapchat or something. It was like all hearsay that she was hooking up with her boyfriend's dad, and it went viral on Barstool, on X and literally ruined her life for the past like 2 weeks. And like her sorority had to shut off comments. They ended up getting in contact with the FBI, getting a forensic data person, a private investigator to try and figure out who made this rumor happen. Because she was.
And it's not real.
Yeah, no, not real at all. And she's getting doxxed, she's getting death threats. All this bad stuff is happening to a little sorority girl that literally, this was completely out of her hands. She's just getting cyberbullied to no end.
Well, apparently somebody just recently got pistol whipped too.
Amouranth, is that how you say her name?
Yeah.
All this crazy stuff is happening. Yeah, apparently she had time to tweet, I think I'm getting robbed.
Can you
I'm getting
explain
robbed.
to me, Gabrielle, can you explain to me what pistol whipped is?
So you have a pistol and you just
said
get
you have-
smacked.
She said in the car on the way over here, you can smack the shit out of you with a pistol. Like,
That's what pistol whip is. No, but let me read you these tweets that she was live tweeting as she was apparently getting robbed. Quote unquote, I'm being robbed at gunpoint at 8:55 p.m. on March 2nd. Another one, I believe I shot one of them. They wanted my crypto is what they were yelling and they pulled me out of bed. And then there's like a picture. This was a home invasion. SWAT here now. I'm safe. But this girl has been known to like lie about things that have happened to her in the past.
I believe I shot one of them. So it's like, bing.
Yeah. Let me just,
What?
but the cops did show up. I don't think it was SWAT, but the cops showed up. And I mean, they have to show up to any attempt of robbery. But I get it. She's rich as hell. Like, they wanted her crypto wallet because that's not able to be traced. Smart on them, I guess, if you're trying to rob someone.
well, it's not even just with the Amouranth situation. I've said this before. I've stated it many times. I think live streaming is one of the most dangerous forms of social media because you are literally showing people exactly where you are, time and place. And I can name numerous examples where this has caused people to lose their lives, lose their finances, etc. And most recently, not even with Amouranth situation, but with Valkyrie and Pokien and all of them out and about at the fair. And they didn't want to give their phone number out to a fan, essentially. And so the guy comes back and he says, I'll kill all of you guys. Or I'll unalive all of you guys right now.
Yeah.
Changed outfits and everything and came back again. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a girl, the thought of live streaming in public, that's why I don't do it. Because, like, I've had weird situations with, like, people online even saying and doing weird stuff.
Well, it's a security team,
It's,
isn't it?
yeah, it's a security thing. Look at me. Do you think I'm going to put up a good fight against like a weirdo who's been following me and knows me? They know I can't punch. They know my best move might be like pepper spray or a stun gun.
You are very close with the heavyweight champ, all right? You ain't need no security team.
Yeah, you don't need the security team, man.
Okay, but
And
if
this
I'm
heavyweight
alone.
champ knows me if you didn't know that.
You're in good hands.
If I'm alone though, because he travels all the time.
Okay.
To be
Like,
fair, and people try me when I'm by myself when I'm traveling. It's just like, I prefer to just be with my group of friends.
no, exactly. So it's like, as a woman, I just can't imagine live streaming in public. Also, maybe if you have like a security guy with
Can you delay the live
that's
stream though?
30 seconds, I think.
Is
That's
it the
it.
max?
Yeah, 30 seconds is the
Yeah,
max.
but like they're even like 30 seconds isn't a lot of time because it's like they're capturing every moment of their, like, you can't edit a live stream. So it's just like, that's scary. I don't know. That's why I haven't done IRLs, because it's just like, even me, like, I'm big, I'm 6'5".
And you're
It's
like,
just
that scares me a
yeah,
little bit too
I don't
much.
want to do that. Yeah, except if you have to roll around like you're 6'9", like have that big of a security team.
Well, didn't he get beat up in a bathroom because he didn't have a security team?
Well, yeah.
Yes, I saw that clip. It was
Yeah.
at a LA Fitness
Yep.
or something
Yep.
random.
Somebody whooped him.
Yeah.
Yes, at a gym. Literally, I think it was LA
Yeah,
Fitness.
because he has to, like, that's probably like $10,000 a day, probably rolling around with that many people.
Rappers don't make that much money
Yeah.
unless you're Drake
Yeah.
or Kendrick or J. Cole, maybe. I don't know.
Let's not
But
get on the Drake and Kendrick topic, because Drake better.
Anyway,
oh,
you know, obviously now that we've moved on past Valentine's Day and the holidays, it's like we're in that weird time of year now where people are in
breaking up.
Breaking up. I saw this video of this girl on TikTok bawling her eyes out of the airport because her boyfriend broke up with her because she was going on a girls trip to Fort Lauderdale for spring break. And I'm sitting there thinking in my head,
Ah.
as soon as she booked
That's
that airplane ticket, she
interesting.
broke up with him. It wasn't at the airport.
Wait, that's crazy. So you'd break up with the girl if she went on a girls' trip?
To Miami for spring break?
What about somewhere tropical, like a different place?
No, but the thing is, listen, hold on. Girls
Wait, what do you-
trips mean Bonnie Blue trips, basically.
That's so not true.
Like y'all are
Yeah,
going
it
to be
is.
Bonnie Blue.
Okay,
and
no
girls-
offense.
Let me explain the difference between a girl's trip and a guy's trip. A guy's trip, guys will go and we pay for everything. Trust me, we'll buy the restaurants, we'll buy the activities, we set the excursions. When a girls go on a trip, they intentionally dress up nicely to go out with a group of girls so that they get invited to the yachts. And
How are you behind the DJ booth?
Like, why are you? Yeah, who are you? Why are you in VIP?
Because I'm outgoing and a nice, bubbly person. Why wouldn't you want to be next to me?
You got 1,200 followers in the VIP. It's insane.
It's crazy.
Okay. Maybe my friends are just different. Whenever I went on my girls' trip to New York, literally we were sightseeing and going to museums and stuff. It was not even a thought.
Or sightseeing six packs.
Nah.
My friend group just does not do that. Not all girls do that. Yes, the girls who are seen on the yachts and are like gallivanting around Europe all summer. Fun fact, they're not normal girls. Those are fucking escorts.
Yeah, well,
So-
okay, well, we'll talk about the escorts. I'm just saying, in terms of
Most girls don't do
if
that.
you have a long-term boyfriend and you are with the girls and they're like, hey, we're gonna plan a girls trip to go to Miami, but we're gonna say it's Fort Lauderdale, but it's the same
And you can't come like the guy.
for
can't
spring
come.
break, and he's not allowed to.
Well, if you've been in a long-term relationship, one, why don't you trust them? Two, don't you know all her friends already?
Buddy, you trying to defend the wrong? You're on the wrong side of the fence right here, buddy. As soon as
But
she
could
booked that flight,
could a guy go to Miami?
What I'm trying to explain to you is
Could a guy go to Miami? What
you're
do
not
you
even,
think?
you have been
For
cutting
work?
me off.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to explain to you is the difference between a guy and a girl going. It could result in the same thing. You are 100% right, but the odds of it happening are way higher in the girl's favor because the girl, one, is not going to pay for anything, and she's somehow in the same locations as the guys. And two, when a guy goes, it's harder to have access to the type of girl that they're looking for because all the girls that they're looking for are too busy on yachts and in VIP sections by somebody else who has more money than them that are paying them to be there.
I can only speak on personal experiences and like, yeah, I've been on spring breaks and I've been around people that were married or in relationships. And
I can't even remember the last time I was on a spring break trip. I'm old as hell now, so I think I ain't been on spring break trips since I was like 20.
this
But
guy's old, but
I
yeah.
was in- last time I went on spring break was 2022, so 3 years ago.
spring break last year, me and Miniko went to the Jake Paul fight 1 year ago today.
You guys can't even say spring break. You guys weren't even in college. That does not count. Spring break is for spring break in college. Like, that's what I think of.
Hey, I'm 21.
Add 10 years to that.
Regardless of your age, and like age is a good important part about this, is because these girls trips that these girls are taking, you don't think that the VIP sections and the Tyga after parties, how the fuck old do you think they are? These motherfuckers in the mid-30s
No, that's true. That's true.
call
Yeah.
these 20-something-year-old girls, buddy, you are 15 years
If a
old.
girl, let me
that's
just say
crazy.
for anyone watching or listening,
Buddy, you was her baby.
if a girl says, if a girl says she's an atmosphere model, run.
What is the atmosphere model?
I just found all this out literally last week. This is tea, and I have to be careful what I say because some certain people might get mad. So girls who lie and say that they're atmosphere models are actually escorts. I didn't know that. So all these girls that you see like behind the DJ booth who do like social media and stuff, they're getting paid.
That's
I didn't know that.
yes.
There's also been several social media influencers, like TikTokers, that we all know, who also get paid for crazy things to happen to them. I didn't know any of this.
You knew about the Dubai stuff?
That's what I found out about,
Okay.
and that's why my mind was blown. The Dubai things. You could Google it, do your own research.
Miniko, go ahead and explain the Dubai thing for those in the back that don't know.
Dubai, you know, there's certain girls that pay like or get paid like 20, 30, 40, 50,000.
No, 50 to 100 is what I heard.
Well, yeah, those are the
For certain, people.
type of like, but it's like girls that you wouldn't expect that are up there, and yeah, they get paid, flown out to Dubai, to these rich guys, and these guys prepare their stomachs because they put these girls in a hole and poop on them.
no, literally.
And like some girls, they make them like they feed them their poop. Like
Ugh.
yeah, it's
Okay.
a lot of things, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I found out that that was an actual thing that some influencers were doing
Yeah.
that
Yes.
you all would know.
And like they'll have and like you'll see like a girl's like, oh, solo Dubai trip, or they'll bring a girlfriend and then like they're in the nicest hotels, they're camelback riding, like doing like the most lit things that look on their social media, and then
You don't know what's happening at nighttime or at 9
yeah,
a.m.
when they're not posting, they're getting pooped on.
Like, call me, maybe I'm just old fashioned and from Missouri and just very much so sheltered. Did not know that was true. I thought it was just like a myth.
It's absolutely real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, no wonder why you guys have Chanel bags
Yeah.
and you don't do brand deals.
It's crazy.
I'm working my ass off posting my like creatine videos and my fitness videos
Yeah.
or like day in the lives to get these brand deals so that I could, travel and stuff. Meanwhile, these girls are getting flown places with Chanel bags, and I'm like, I mean, I know you get views, but you don't get paid that well for views.
Yeah. There's actually a girl that I know that I'm not saying her name, but this guy actually flies her out for her poop, and like
And she does it to him?
no, yeah, and he pays her
This is a
to
family
watch
show.
him.
This is a family show podcast.
I'm sorry, pays her to
I'm
watch
just kidding.
him eat, like he eats her poop.
He goes, I'm sorry, continues to tell the story. Nah, it's all right.
But yeah, but she's making good money.
Like, how much?
Good money.
How much?
Good, like I told you though, 20, 30, 40, 50K.
Each time?
Yeah.
So each month she's making like, let's say 40K
No, she's making like well over that.
just from him.
Oh no, from him I don't know. Like I have no clue. I didn't like when she started talking about the poop, I didn't dive too far into it. But she told me that and I was just like, oh, what have you been doing? Oh, I'm working on my next
Get
video.
your bag. I mean, do what you gotta do. Get your
Yeah.
bag. That's great. See, I didn't know any of this was real. I thought this was all hearsay and fake.
Well, the world is a strange place, Gabrielle, and there's a lot of strange places that you can make a lot of money from, and social media is one of those amazing places. And you know what really, really gets on my nerves? You know what gets on my nerves? And this is just like so far left of what we're speaking about. Kind of in terms of how like social media works and how people promote themselves. A lot of like the OnlyFans creators and like these escorts and these exclusive people, they do a lot of like their promoting on like Twitter and stuff like this, and you'll see a lot of that obviously. But I don't know if you guys understand. Like I'm a big avid user of Snapchat, and there's a lot of like things on Snapchat that just confuse the heck out of me. For example, like most recently we were talking before we started today, is like I took a picture in the bathroom, right? It's just I'm in the bathroom, like I'm like covering my stomach. I have pants on. I'm standing in the bathroom, and it gets muted on my story, right? And I'm sitting here going like, why does this happen? Gabrielle explains to me that Snapchat's AI is so meticulous on how it allows you to promote your own page and your own social media that if it registers that you are in some sort of bathroom or private area, it will mute your story. That's crazy.
You also can't take a video or even a picture if someone looks like they're asleep. Isn't that random?
That
was another one that you'll automatically get muted and like shadow banned if you take a picture where someone appears to be asleep.
Yeah, it actually doesn't make sense to me, like why other social media platforms don't let you promote other social media platforms either. You ever notice when you post like an Instagram link
yeah.
or something,
Yeah.
or something on it, it's like it mutes the hell of, or you say like keywords. Say you make like a TikTok video, and a lot of these go on TikTok. And on TikTok, I say, hey guys, go follow me on Instagram or follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, whatever it is, YouTube. It'll be like, oh, rather than you averaging 100,000, 200,000 views, we're gonna give you
Like 20.
20
Yeah.
views in 6 hours. Like, you mean to tell me that this isn't rigged?
But it's a competition. So think if like you had a girlfriend like was trying to promote her to other guys. Actually, hold on, does that make sense?
Yeah. You want to keep it all on one
Yeah, you
platform.
want to keep it all
don't
for
want
you.
it
Like
to-
they're like Instagram is selfish, so they're like, hey, y'all are here for me. You're not here for
Yeah,
anybody
you don't
else.
Right,
wanna go
but the way I look at it is the point of growing on Instagram and keep people on Instagram is so that you have a way to market yourself. So say, for example, you have a small business. Like, for example, like I know Gabrielle's working on some stuff right now, and say she wants to promote like whatever it is that she decides to work on, and she builds a website for it. It's like she should be able to go to her followers who love and care about the things she says, post a link and say, hey guys, if you love me, you can go to this, which isn't a social media link. All it does is help me grow You should be able to do that.
So actually they're testing stuff out with the algorithm so that you can do that better. So it will only mute and not show on the For You page if you're doing other social media websites. So that's why all these creators are making their own websites and not using link trees anymore. That it's like www.gabriellemoses- whatever. It's their own, and it's not being seen as a link tree or a specific link to another website or like another platform.
So is it a known thing that Instagram has admitted to doing this, or is it just like we just assume they are? Because like
No, it's a known thing.
Yeah.
They literally came out and said like, yeah, if you have like a Snapchat link and an Instagram story, we're gonna.
Is that true for like your bios? Because like what I notice, guys, is like I could push anywhere between 10 million to 30 million profile visits within like a 30-day visit. Now, if I took out my link tree out of my bio, would that increase? Would that stay on the 30 million margin? Does it like mute
So
my
if
profile
you have a
views?
link tree, literally in your bio, Instagram has already said like
Repressed.
you might be like repressed a little bit. But if you make your own website, even though it might be the same layout as Linktree, you might have better luck. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's opinion based. I get what Minicon is also saying about how's a competition, but I also think like we all have to make money. And if you guys want us on your platform developing content, then you guys should open it up so that we can use our platform to.
No, that's true. I agree.
Yeah.
Think about, for example, recently Keith Lee. Keith Lee has done a great job promoting other businesses.
We love Keith Lee.
We all love Keith Lee. Recently, he's been being canceled in England. I hate to admit it, guys. I'm half English, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now, the food there is absolutely
Terrible.
awful. Trash.
No flavor, and I
don't-
get it. No GMOs.
I don't want no tuna and potatoes and jack and beans and all this nonsense.
Ketchup.
And ketchup. Spud Bros, you guys have a terrible dynamic. I hate to tell you guys, I've been there, I've seen it, I've tasted the food there, buddy. It is.
They have
not
good
good.
Indian food, but that's it.
Yeah, they have good cultural food of
Yes.
different cultures, but the European,
Food
or I guess
itself.
the English.
They don't
food,
have ranch, so they can't talk.
Yeah.
Like,
The thing is I get it. I
barely
get
have barbecue sauce.
they don't?
They barely have barbecue sauce.
In terms of ranking countries, and I've seen this, in terms of Gordon Ramsay's went and ranked all the countries about who has the best or worst food, and I think Morocco was his favorite one, and England is
Oh, I've heard that. Yeah.
notoriously the worst food and worst cuisine. Guys, there are certain things that cultures eat, I get it, that other cultures don't really fathom together, but let me teach you guys about how they teach you in any culinary sport about how your palates work and taste buds work, and nowhere in there does it say let's put some fishiness, some sweet beans, some starchiness with the potatoes, some cheese, and some spiciness from the ketchup all together and say, hey, this is gonna make a really good combo. That to me tastes like when you're in like the 5th grade or like
And it's
kindergarten and
heated
you're
up
just mixing
tuna.
all this
Yeah.
shit together.
And the tuna's heated up, but the cheese is cold.
That's disgusting.
Which that just doesn't make any sense.
It's disgusting. But big ups Keith Lee. But going back to my point, what I was saying with Keith Lee has done a great job using his platform, creating content on his platform for the social media content in general, so it doesn't mute his videos. And all he does in his videos is enhance small businesses, not major corporations like McDonald's and all this and that. He enhances small businesses by using a vlog-style food rating-based system, and it's made him one of the biggest creators known in the world.
Yeah.
So for me, that's a prime example about how you take what your platform can do, give that to everybody, and now you have more people on your platform, more people making money, all because you're not muting what they're doing. Like, I should be able to go in there if I have a restaurant and say, come to my restaurant, this is what we're doing, and it should get the same amount of views as somebody else coming to my restaurant and posting the same video. That's just my
They're
opinion.
about to make an app that I think Keith Lee inspired that's like TikTok, but only for restaurants.
I would watch that because Minicon has traveled around the world with me, and the first thing what we do when we go to new countries is you go on TikTok and you say, best
to eat.
restaurants in this city, best nightlife in this city, best gyms in this city. And that's what you look at, like, hey, I found this on TikTok. It might only have 1,000 likes or 20 views, but it's like one of 4 videos on there. And you can go and see,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
it's on the App Store right now. I forget the name of it, but it's like
We're not going to say the name because we're not sponsored by them, but listen.
Yeah, I don't know the name, so I couldn't tell you.
So it's like it's like Yelp
Yeah, but
videos.
TikTok,
Yeah, and
yeah.
it's dope because it's like you can actually see
See
like
it.
their expressions and like
Yes.
you know that like you know the difference if you watch a video and somebody's
Versus
like
a
paid
picture.
to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
And then and if it's a picture or a video.
No, exactly. Do you want to talk about boxing though? Because we're
Yeah, I got things. I got it.
You're a boxer?
Anyways, let's get a roll us into our last segment of today's podcast. This is the boxing aspect for all my sports fans out there, mostly for me. Obviously, we announced the fight with Roman Fury March 29th, pay-per-view, KSI, Manchester, AO Arena. I'm going to go, beat that bald man into an early grave. I'm going to do something that John Fury should have did years ago, and that's put belt to ass. Molly May, if you're out there watching this, hey, baby girl, I'll be seeing you real soon. And Roman, Tyson, Huey, and John. I just want you guys to have this special message to me when I'm joining you guys for Christmas next year with Bambi and the rest of the crew. We'll see you guys March 29th, Manchester, England.
Tommy, you too.
Tommy, you know better. Don't speak my name in a room I'm not in.
Yeah. And if y'all want to start any beef at the press conference, we're loaded with people. Come on.
Look, I'm going to give you, John, if you're watching this, fair warning to you. I'm not like the rest of these guys. You take your shirt off, my pants are coming off and everything, buddy.
Okay.
I'm not playing. I am the craziest motherfucker at that press conference. I swear to God, John, you don't want to try me. I'm not Paul Bamba. I'm not, who else did you find? Anthony Taylor. I'm not these guys, all right, buddy? You pick up a chair, I'm going to pick up two. You pick up a water bottle, I'm going to pick up a squirt gun. And listen, buddy, I'm going to put you in an early retirement home. Don't speak my name in a room I'm not in. I'm going to let you guys know
I was
that.
with him until he said the pants thing.
I know, the pants thing lost me.
Dick and balls.
Wow.
I don't want to
I
even
thought this
think.
was a family podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to be joining the Furies.
Uh-huh.
Chase Fury.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
What about Tank?
Yeah. Tank. I was going to ask you about that. So recently, Tank had a fight with Lamar Roach, I think his name?
Lamar Roach.
Lamar Roach. And there's a lot of controversy right now. The fight's actually under review with the New York Department of Licensing Commission or whatever, because apparently he had grease come into his eye in the middle of the fight where he took a voluntary knee and went and wiped it out of his face. Those of you that don't know boxing, a voluntary knee is an allowed thing. However, the referee did start counting and then refrained from counting, had a conversation with Tank, and then continued the fight. The fight ended in a draw, whereas if it was counted as a knockdown when he started counting, then
Lamar would have gotten the win. And let me ask you this. Yeah. Have you ever sparred with your braids coming down?
Yes.
And that shit hurts.
It's terrible.
It hurt like the sweat. I get his argument when he said the sweat in the eyes it's
you don't
burning.
understand.
It's crazy. It hurts.
And it's dangerous.
Yeah, 100%. And you can see in the clips the jab or whatever had hit him barely touched him. It wasn't.
But you can see the grease going down.
Yeah, and you can see him wiping his eye on the punch before. Me personally, and I'm a huge Tank Davis fan, I think the knee, okay, if it counted as a knockdown, counted as a knockdown in that moment. I just think that was wild. He should have thugged it out. But
in your opinion as a boxer though, would you ever want to win a fight because somebody's hair product rolled into their eyes?
No, not at all.
I was like, what, buddy, you won because I had a disadvantage because the lady that did my hair, who's also getting canceled on TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's like, bro, you almost killed her on the grease. You
see how she came back, she was attacking him? And
she posted something.
Yeah, she's like, is hair grease in the room? She's like, I didn't even use grease. I used this product, blah, blah, whatever it was.
Baby girl, I can see it running down his face.
It's it leaked in his eyes. I don't care if it was conditioner. I don't care if
it happened when we was in Puerto Rico a year ago with Amanda Serrano not coming out for her fight because she had the same problem. The hair dye rolled into her eye. It burned her cornea. Mm-hmm. And she couldn't fight that night.
Yeah. It's a serious problem. It hurts. It burns.
Terrible.
Why don't they use the baby safe products, this tear-free, how they make the baby stuff?
We're grown-ass men, that's why.
Yeah, you can't be putting baby products in grown-ass men hair. But that's,
well, I mean, then you want to have the issue with your
eyes.
It just makes a little bit too much sense. Okay.
I guess because it's whatever your hair lady has at the moment. When we're traveling, he's in a random place that he's not used to. I know he's from the DMV, but it's most of the hairstylists that come, you just
use their products.
We're not professionals. It's you're a professional. You're coming to a boxer to do his hair. You do the research. That's not my job. That's what I'm paying you for.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
That's fair.
Anyways, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the #1 podcast in the world. We are your hosts, Chase DeMoor.
And Gabrielle.
And now, I'm in a con.
And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.